Hey guys, welcome back to another AfterBuzz recap of WGN's Underground. We got a lot to talk about, so let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I miss singing to this.
Come on now.
I totally miss singing to this song.
Talk to me somebody, talk to me somebody.
I'm off.
Hey guys, welcome back to another AfterBuzz recap of WGN's Underground.
What's up, y'all?
I am your host, Lina Green, and you can catch me at Just Lina Green on all social media platforms.
Hey guys, Elayna here. You can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
What's up, y'all? You already know what time it is. Franceli, Chapman here. You can hang out with me at Selly Hangout.
And hey guys, I'm Lanisha, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lanisha_33.
Man, guys, this opening made me so mad. Can a black man make it?
No.
Can he make it? Why they gotta do that
No.
to him? So, guys, it opens up with Daniel, who is the guy who usually opens up reading, and now he can't see.
He's black.
They done
gave me
took his
chills.
sight. That made me so mad.
That hurt my heart.
Like, he's trying to help, and they done made sure he can never read again.
You know what's crazy? We get these quick snippets of Daniel's story. We've been getting it this whole season. Yet it's been so powerful, and we can elaborate on it for so long. Just like with the 30 seconds we get of him, because that 30 seconds of the opening or the minute opening today or this episode, it kind of like my body went through like this emotional roller coaster. Like I got chills, and you can see he was still trying really hard to do
growl,
his task. He was still trying to nail it or to just punch it. It was almost like he couldn't be fazed by the fact that he was blind.
It just is a testament of our resilience, you know, because like despite everything, it's like I'm still gonna work, I'm gonna push past this. You know, I feel like, man, those kinds of conditions in the 21st century, you know, you couldn't even fathom. Some people would like not be able to take it and would take their own lives, you know, but you know, despite everything that as the black people went through, they still pushed through and kept living. They fought to live, and I think that's just incredible. I freaking love Daniel. He's the bomb.
Yeah.
He's the bomb.
The way they did that, the blinding of him, that gave me chills because they made it look really like, I don't know how they don't really give a backstory
Right.
to what they did, but I'm sure it was probably horrific.
Yeah.
To
It
teach
looks
him a
as if
lesson.
they like burned his eyes. If they like,
The
tried to burn
scars
his
is really
eyes,
what did it
Yeah.
to me too. I was just like,
And so then we get into Mr. James. Now, James, little brother of Rosalie, what is going on with I get it. You was living nice. But how long do you think that niceness is going to continue?
he doesn't think.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
as a
doesn't.
kid, and
'Cause
he's a
he's so
smart
young,
kid though.
yeah.
But he a smart kid, and when you've been through so much, I mean, his brother got killed. I mean, his dad is dead. His mother is gone. He's been through so much, so it's made him a little bit smart. Like he's very mature for his age, but I mean, he's mature.
For him to have been a slave's child, he's real sarcastic. Like he just needed a backhand,
Listen,
like
he
one
needs
good
to
time.
get,
You know what I
he
mean?
needs a good whooping.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the chat that was on fire. Like the chat is lit. Sam Jones says that the little boy is hypnotized, and I believe so. He's under a
brainwashed.
spell.
I think we're gonna
Second
see
place.
it in a little bit. The chat room,
But
It's
he's
too much.
he's under a spell, like literally, like under the spell of this fantasy of the pony, and that he has some sort of power, and they're calling him Massa now. Like what
Right,
the
yeah.
what is
Giving
going
him a
on?
little sense
It's the
of
same
power.
thing with some of the slaves that got a little bit more power over the other ones, and what did they call them? The
Overseers.
The overseers. You know, they thought they were up there with the white folks, kind of. They looked down at the other black people who were underneath them, who were working the fields and stuff. And it's like the house slaves thought they were better than the field slaves. That mentality to keep people apart just by giving them certain like powers and stuff. And so of course James is feeling like, you know, I'm living a good life.
Right.
And what he tells Rosalie, when you left, you left. Shoot, and this woman been taking care of me. She's not just taking care of me, but treating me like one of her own.
Yeah.
And as a kid, like giving him presents, that's all he gonna be happy
That
with.
scene with him and Rosalie about her leaving, though, really just exposed the hurt in him.
Right.
And the hurt in him for a child.
Right.
Because at that point, it's the whole life. It impacts so deeply.
Right.
It brands you for who you're going to become and who you are, naturally. And what's interesting about James's character is that although he's a child, in the times that he's living in, he's always had to like be older. He had to learn things quick. You know what I mean? He had to have some kind of self-awareness. His mom was trying to teach him last season. We were seeing her.
He couldn't just play like a kid because you saw what happened. He almost got lashed because.
So he was forced to grow up almost, and now in this season, we kind of want him to go back to being a kid, or a kid that respects his sister who left and made his world upside down.
Well, I think too, perception versus reality. Like as children, how you see things and how you perceive things affects everything. And then you get older and you become an adult, and then you find out other things as an adult, and then you start having your perspective switches. And I think that as a child, that's all he sees, that it's like, it's your fault. Sam would still be alive. Like, you running created this domino effect. So he has to blame someone, and it's just so easy to blame Rosalie.
Right. And then now, like, in his eyes, his life is better now, even though it was turned upside down with Rosalie leaving. But then with the mistress taking him in, treating him like her own, it's like, well, my life is better now. You know what I mean? And as a child, like, he's young, so he has to, but he was forced to do, like you said, grow up a little bit quicker. But at the same time, he's still young and he's still naive to some things.
Yeah. He also hasn't had any other encounter outside of the mistress with anyone in society. So right now his life is great. You know what I mean? I'm one of them until he steps outside of the and
that's when he'll realize what's going on for real.
But it's also a form of brainwashing. When people get kidnapped, their captors will first be very unkind to them and then very kind to them, and it confuses them at a point, especially if they're not exposed to anything else. They believe that their captor is their savior. Right. It's kind of that mentality too that we see with James. Because I know we were all really upset with James when at the end of last season he started yelling. We're like, man, we gotta slap that little boy. But you know what I'm saying? This is a kid, and this is the way a child's brain works is completely different from an adult. So.
Rosalie did exactly what we said she should have did last episode. She banged him upside his head.
At the end, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I love Georgia's character is such. I love the arc of Georgia's character because we've seen her go, for a character that's not one of the main characters, we've seen her go through so much. And when we're introduced to her in this episode, she is being shunned now because she has been exposed that she is not a Caucasian woman, which I'm still like surprised. Like,
I know that.
Who was y'all looking at? But now she's being shunned. She's trying to raise money for slavery and for to help different families get out and help out Harriet and stuff. And people are coming by and they're not really as nice to her as they used to be when they thought she was. Like they're giving her side eye, and she makes mention to that to Elizabeth. And
Miss Laney, Shady Boots, Shady Boots, Laney.
Yeah, I'm loving Elizabeth's character. We've said this before. I'm so loving Elizabeth's character this season because we're seeing so much strength. Even how she handled that, like she's like, I see what's going on. We still got to be strong. And then she encounters an old friend, Laney. Who we're introduced to, who is fake as they come.
Yes.
Acting like she gonna really give to the cause, and she didn't have anything that she wanted to give. But she was pretending and being fake, but it's a good thing Elizabeth had her number. Knew a few things about her from the old days and stuff. And I love
Lina going into this accent. I don't know what's going on. She just got real southern all of a sudden.
Facial expression, I'm just like, what's happening?
She got real southern.
I am from Texas. I am a Southern Belle.
Texas is not Southern
Somebody
Belle.
Get her.
We are Southern Belles in Texas.
Somebody get her.
You can be. Yes, we are in Texas. Yes. Okay. Anyway, girl, shut up. So anyway,
I ain't even say that.
You're trying to call me out. Anyway, so Laney, we're gonna see more Laney towards the end, and when she gets done in by Elizabeth. I saw one of the things that this episode they posted on the Instagram for WG, and they was like, "Ooh, Elizabeth giving it in this episode." So I was like waiting for that moment.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, we see her give it, like serve it to that girl.
Can I tell y'all how they played us? So there's a scene in this episode that they showed in the previews of when John first died. And it's when she's walking down the church house. And we thought that was going to happen sometime when John died around the courthouse, that she was just going to blow it up and, she was just going to do. And it's like 6 episodes later, like I finally see the scene and I'm just like, why y'all play me like that? I'm thinking she
Yeah.
was about to, turn the funeral out or something, and it's really this that was happening, and I'm just like, they got me. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't remember this scene where she's walking.
I remember her
walking like the
yeah.
Omen. All black like the Omen.
Okay, I don't remember that. Okay, maybe it happened. I don't know. I don't remember that scene though.
Girl, it happened.
Okay, anyway. So anyway, about Elizabeth, I'm really loving the strength she's showing, and the scene with her and Harriet, when Harriet is like giving her advice. That was such a powerful scene because we just saw in the episode before with Harriet giving her speech and like talking to everyone, and we were introduced to like a huge monumental character with Harriet in that scene. And now she's giving advice to Elizabeth, and she going in like she a preacher talking about you need to trust God in everything that you do. And I love how they put that in this show, because a lot of shows, they like to tiptoe around God and stuff, and it's like, maybe I shouldn't touch that. But Harriet's character is going to be so monumental in this, because not only is her advice that she's giving, she's kind of like the leader of it all. Even though Rosalie and Noah are our main characters, I think in the end we're going to see her be like the one to lead everyone out, probably the one to get everyone out of there, out of the off of the Macon after it's blown up, and get them all out of there.
Harriet's speech kind of had me in split in two, though.
Right.
Like
on one end, she's like, "When's the last time you prayed?" I was like, "All right, yes, girl."
Yeah.
She does. Okay.
And then she turned around and she was like, "No, you got to commit a sin sometimes again." I was just like,
For the
wait.
greater good. Sometimes sinning for the greater good.
And I understand it, especially in that time. However, that it don't make it right.
I mean,
It don't make it right.
It doesn't, but
they're trying to do something for
and I get that, and that's great, and that's amazing. Now it would have been different. It's like, we're already sinners. I'm a sinner. Like we're sin. Like without a doubt. However, trying to make it seem like it's good.
No, she wasn't making it seem like it's good, but there's ends to means. Like for the greater good, there's always going to be the greater good, and then.
Like in a moment, you may have to do something you may not want to do. Yeah, want to do, or something that, like it may be wrong.
You disagree with the church scene.
Right. In the moment, you have to do what you have to do. And God will forgive you.
Wait. No.
I see the church is a lie.
No.
I guess we can go ahead and talk about that church.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because when we had just Harriet's episode, we were introduced to her in a different light.
Yeah.
And she definitely dropped a lot of gems on us. And even tonight she did too. However, it's
as I sipped tea.
in that era, I understand. It was for the greater good. You had to make a way. They had to kill people to survive. You know what I mean? They had to do a lot to survive. That's fine. But don't try to be like, oh, it's right. Like, say it's wrong. Yeah. I just need you to say it's wrong. I need the show to say it's wrong, because now you're sending, like, I feel like the show was saving souls, and then now they got people raising their eyebrows. I just want them to continue saving souls. You know what I mean?
But I feel like because of the way she said it, I don't feel like she was saying that it was okay. Like you just,
girl, you didn't see them
sometimes it was
laughing
like,
at the table?
They were
Like she was like, "How was church, girl? How was church?"
You're right.
If you're in a
You're right on that part.
situation like that, like this is a dire situation where you're really trying to do the greater good.
Right.
So there's gonna have, in this world that we live in, you're gonna have to step on a little bit of toes.
And we've seen it, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's a problem.
Do I agree of how they went about doing it in the church scene, how they put the snakes? That's you're in the Father's house, but then you have the preacher talking about my pale Jesus Christ. Like, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
Yeah. It's for the greater good, though.
But that church specifically is a church that specifically preaches a word that says that slavery is the Christian way.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword in a particular way.
It's okay to take their money.
It just reminds me of Robin Hood. Like, was Robin Hood right for what he was doing? He was stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. I feel like they're the Robin Hoods of their time, in a particular way. You can agree with that method. You can disagree with that method. Whether it's right or wrong, sometimes people feel like they got to do wrong to get things right.
Yeah. And sometimes you do have to do that. I think it was just the fact that the message was just conflicting. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that what you're saying, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what we've been receiving from the show.
No. And I feel like the message, they're doing a clear message, but again, this is a unique situation. This is a unique time. Like, this is... She's not listening.
She's listening. She's sipping her water.
How dare
sipping
you?
her water.
I mean, you have to understand the situation that they're in. Like, yes, they did something that is not right, but they did it to do something good.
Right.
Okay. All right.
You know,
Anyway.
hey, can we talk about who you can trust? Because you can't even trust family. Can we talk
I
about
like that. I wanted to go into the relationship that James and Rosalie have, because we first see them together in this episode when he's watching her having to put on the garment.
the corset?
Oh, the corset over
The
a
corset.
Well,
She
they trying to
pregnant.
force her to put that on
Listen.
over.
The lady said, you
That's
have to
her-
suck your stomach.
I was like, girl,
Where's that
bye.
go?
Wait a minute. How she gonna fit in that dress? She was bone thin in that first, when she was first wearing that dress. Talking about she has to fit in that same dress.
Listen, but if looks can kill,
Yes, the
Rosalie
way
was
she-
killing James because she was just burning a hole through that little boy. She was
Man.
She was burning me.
some
Right?
reason,
I was like, I had to
even-
look away. I was like, wait.
She was doing
I
a
didn't do
shake.
anything.
and her
Her whole
jaw.
face was shaking.
Didn't even blink. It was
The
a cold
clenching.
stare. Like,
It was
Ja-
deadly.
James just like,
It was deadly.
He didn't know what to
Yeah.
do. He didn't know where to put his face. He was
Right,
like, where do I
like,
look?
It
What do
was
I do?
deadly.
I'm gonna go, but I was wondering how they were gonna interact, especially when the mistress Susanna is sitting there on the piano, playing the piano like life is all great. And then here go Rosalie just staring at James. And Susanna staring at Rosalie. And I'm surprised why she didn't just get up and slap Rosalie. Instead, she took it out on poor Hattie.
I think she low-key I feel like she feels like if she would have slapped Rosalie would have slapped her back.
I
Yeah,
think people
maybe.
fear her. No,
You think she
honestly,
fears her, Rosalie?
in a particular way, yes. Because the fact that she was such a good girl and then was so rebellious. Remember what happened to Bill? You know, like what Bill looks like is a result
Yeah.
of Rosalie
Messed him
and
up.
Noah. You know, and at the end of the day, she's still a woman who's out there unprotected from her husband. She's by herself. Like, she knows who to mess with. This is my thing too, though. But when you when you walking with the fear of God on the inside of you,
Can you just say
that
it?
fire, ain't nobody messing with you.
Why is she cracking up so hard? Someone, what is wrong? What's wrong with her?
I don't know where it came from either. I had a moment. I'm sorry, y'all.
But I'm really loving y'all so a mess.
I can't.
man,
I
Like the
can't.
church say.
Let the church say amen. They was messing with the church's money.
They was
you know.
It's Harriet. Talk about how it's church, y'all. Like that is her. It's her. Sorry, we digress. We digress.
Can we
digress.
anyway, so then Noah goes and has a little conversation with James, which was a needed conversation because I think James really saw what was happening. You could see it in his face. He was like, okay, maybe you right. You know, I mean, James did finally at that moment say why he's so angry and why he didn't want to leave with them. He felt like, you know, Noah couldn't protect Rosalie. I mean, even if Rosalie did protect, and I was glad that Noah brought that up because I felt like James forgets that his sister had his back the whole time when Miss Susanna wasn't too good to him in the beginning. And he forgot about that stuff. So I was glad that Noah came to James like a man, too.
Man,
I know
Speak to
that's
him.
what was that.
He
the
was
way
speaking
he
to him
pressed
like
him,
a kid.
he pressed him like he
Definitely.
was a grown man. It's like,
But then after a while, James came around the horse because he was scared a little bit. Like, who is that? Who's that? All right. So then he came around walking like a
you
little
know
man.
who I
Like,
am.
oh, all right.
yeah, you know who I
Noah
am.
walked
Good.
up like, oh, you know who I am.
That's gonna make
right?
it real easy now. Yeah.
But that's what made it beautiful about us looking at James' character, though. The fact that he went from little boy scared when Noah walked up to like, man, well, why you ain't protect her? Like, you kind of see his evolution in
Right,
that.
right.
And I think that he was able to speak to Noah in that way because Noah is probably one of the first people who gave him that respect.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
gave him the respect like another man. It's like, all right, you want to act tough boy, so you're going to be tough boy. So Lina over here like taking all my talking points. She's taking my talking points. and
I
trying
didn't
to-
know what you was talking about, and then I was like, "Oh, that's what you're talking about." I didn't know what.
Girl.
I just remember thinking that because the way he came around and talked to that boy, I was like, "Man, the way James stepped up to him, he was like, where was you?
Yeah.
You know, shoot, I'm having to look out for myself, and that's the mentality that's why they couldn't free themselves, because that was the mentality.
Yeah.
I gotta look out for
self.
numero uno. A little boy recognized that at that age. He was like, I'm living a good life. I don't know about y'all. Y'all left me.
Right. And like at the end where he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell, but I ain't leaving.
And
like,
I thought that
you guys can do what you need to do, and I'll have your back as far as that's concerned, but I'm not going with you.
Right.
I thought that
I
was
still
crazy.
want to stay here. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna go with him after that talk.
that
I
just
thought he
goes
was
to,
gonna,
like,
I see what you're saying, man. But he was like, still, nah, I'm
Right,
good.
this life is too good for me.
Because in his mind, this is his plan. Like this is like he's playing the system at this point. He's working his hand with what he has, and he doesn't know what's out there waiting for him if he leaves with Rosalie. Right now, this is what's good, and right now she does think I'm her son, and I'm gonna have to work it as long as I can until I have to make up a new plan. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where he is, and the fact that if that is where he is, it's crazy that he's so young. Because remember when the episode started, I paused it and I was like, well, why hasn't he grown yet? And you guys had to remind me that it hasn't even been a year since all of this.
Right, because she's
Oh,
still pregnant.
Tiara has gotten.
Yeah, he's grown.
Some kids
Compared to
growth
James.
spurts, though.
Yeah.
Some
Right.
kids hit.
And he's a
maybe
little older.
Yeah, he's a little bit older.
But I mean, you do see that character arc in James. He's such a good actor. He's such a good young actor.
He
Because
is.
even
Yeah.
in the
He is.
scene where
Everyone in the chat keeps talking about how great the kids are on this show.
yeah,
Like, they're
kids
just-
are really good actors. But even like in the scene with when he goes to try to help, and he helps Hattie out at the end, and he's like, come on, Hattie, like don't slap her. Well, Rosalie, first of all, Rosalie got some balls talking. She will talk to anyone any kind of way. The way she talked to TR, and he was, what happened to this boy where I'm sorry. We have not seen TR's character. I'm sorry. I
follow,
just
too. I'm
want to
like,
get
wait,
back on TR
now
real quick.
huh?
What happened to TR?
Elayna's so
I
lost.
just can't remember what happened to him, why he's so bitter now. Because he was such a wholesome, beautiful character.
His dad was training him.
Well, okay, you got to remember the arc of like what was happening. He was cultivating a beautiful relationship with James. They were raised like brothers, and then his mother started telling him, no, he's the help, he's the N-word, and then they put him in the fields. And so he was like, that's when he started realizing, that's when he told him, you're not my friend, you're gonna be my property someday, I'm gonna be telling you what to do. But then now the roles are reversed, where his mother now takes him back in the house and is treating him like a second son, and he feels like it's treating him better. So now it's like, I feel like a Cain and Abel situation.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
like these brothers who, you know, there's this jealousy that mom is treating you better, you have the favor of the Lord instead of I do, and Cain want to kill Abel.
You can
know?
definitely see it when they were opening the Christmas gifts. Like
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
that
sure.
TR was
Yeah.
looking at James, and then he started questioning his mama, like, okay, well, you got him a
Where's
horse.
mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
What's that about?
And
yeah.
what does she say? He gets something because you can't behave. You rolling around. For her to say that right in front of him.
Right in front of him, I was like,
you rolling around like them
on,
dirty.
Because in her mind and in James' mind, he's no longer a black slave.
Right.
He's her white son now.
That's what I wonder though. Like, do you think? I feel like right now he's a toy for her. Like, he's a well-behaved black person, a black boy. It's like when they said the master started tradition where the exceptional blacks get to come in the house and eat dinner. I feel like it's all like he's just a pawn, like a piece.
As long as he behaves.
As long as he behaves, as long as he knows his place, as long as he is, you know, I don't feel like she has any love towards him. Like, that's her son, and you know, he's calling her mom now.
Yeah,
that surprised me.
He said, "Mother."
Like,
I was like,
He said, "Don't make me call mother."
He's like, don't.
It's crazy. All of those things are really surprising, and even like TR is like, he is not like us.
Right.
Right.
You know, he a little black boy. You can't be treating him, giving him a pony, and so.
Can I get me one?
I know. So I think that was really interesting to see, like, the dynamic between those characters and what's going on with James feeling so mother, like feeling like Susanna is like a mother to him too. I'm like,
that happened really quick. Like, we talk about how it hasn't even been a year that all of this has happened.
Right.
So the way that he latched onto her, that connection is real, like really fast.
Think about it. He has no one left.
Yeah.
His mother's
It was like
been
his
sold.
mother's
His
gone,
brother was killed.
How many
His
slaves
sister
have
ran
we
away.
seen on the show though that has no one? You know what I mean? Who kind of.
But like
But
when
he's a
someone
child.
he's a child,
He's
and the
7.
mother figure kind of takes you in, you will get attached very quickly as a child at that age.
Yeah.
You know, and your mother was gone, and you were close to your mother.
But he's converted. Like, ain't even no taking him back willingly.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's gone. He's off. Like that's it.
Well, we said he was hypnotized. He's under a
He's
spell.
brainwashed. It's
Yeah.
brainwashed.
You
And it's
know.
not hard to brainwash a child because
Yeah.
their minds
It's
are
not
not fully
developed all the way.
developed, and they will go with whatever is making them feel safe and makes them feel like, you know, they belong somewhere. And it's a confusing time for him. But I want to go ahead and go into Ernestine because we finally get to see her, and she has been captured by Augustine.
By
And
August? Isn't his name August?
His name is Augustine. They call him August.
Oh, okay.
But his name is Augustine.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we give a special shout out to the man who plays August, Chris Melioni? He
Yeah.
actually directed this episode.
did he?
So shout outs to him,
Yay,
directing
Chris.
and
He did
acting, come
great.
through.
He did.
He's such a really good actor
He's
too.
such a good
Oh,
director.
I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, no, he's a
too.
great director. This was shot and directed beautifully.
I love this episode with him in it now because, again, in the first season, I was always on the fence with this character because he always battled that devil and that angel on
Yeah.
his shoulder, and you see that now. You see that now. He still always finds a way to bring humanity to this character no matter what he's going through. He always finds this humanity, and I love the scenes with him and Ernestine because they're both such powerful characters. I want them to do it. And
Lina always finds a way to bring it back.
come on, that one scene when they're in the dark and it's like,
Can we let the record show for our fans in the chat room that every time we're on this topic, it's because of Lina?
Lina
tried to deny it last episode.
Lina always brings up the
Lina
sex.
always
What's wrong
finds a
with
way
sex?
to bring up sex.
I
It wasn't
didn't
even no
hear
sex in
anything.
this episode.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I was just
Wow.
talking about a beautiful
Right.
relationship.
Right.
I love the scenes with Ernestine and August in it because there's such humanity in August's character, even though he is angry at Rosalie. He wants to kill her daughter. And they had this beautiful conversation about kids, and she asked him what happened to his son. And then he asked her what happened to, her kids and stuff. And I found it interesting he didn't say that Rosalie killed. He said he got hurt. And at first I was like, is he trying to, work some mind games on her? But I think it was just an earnest moment where he's like, it's something I don't want to talk about, but I feel for this woman in front of me.
Right.
He sees the person in front of him, and they had such, like...
It was the bonding over the fire
They're-
with the
and they're both
alcohol.
addicts,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
They have a lot in common.
Right. They've lost their children. They're addicted. They're in pain. There's just like, there's a lot.
I've always liked how his character also could see people of color as the same. Like, you see how he could bond with Ernestine. He didn't see her as like, she's a slave. She's not a person, a human being. He was like, this is a woman who has some of the same afflictions as myself.
Well, they both come from the bottom. See, that's the thing. Money, social class has no color, in a particular way.
Now.
In a particular way.
Then too.
No, then too, in a particular
sometimes.
way, because there were whites that had no money that were slaves and indentured servants as well, but they don't really show that as much, but obviously they didn't get treated to the degree that blacks were treated. But if you had no money and still you don't have a lot of money, your power, what you can do, like all of that. So to a certain degree, they have that same playing field.
I think that's what they bonded over, though,
Right.
because August admitted that he's never really had anything to give his
Right.
son.
Right.
So
I
the
don't have
reason,
anything.
so he felt guilt for having his son out there, but he felt like that was the only thing that he can teach him. Because we saw the battle, before with him. He didn't really hate blacks like the rest of the.
He never
you know
did.
what I mean?
He had
It was-
someone
it
in
was
his
like
life
he
he just had to do
Yeah.
it.
He had no other way of means, and this was like the way that you guys explained to me that sometimes you just got to do it to do it. This was his situation.
Right.
Um.
That part.
This was his situation, and they bonded over the fact that they came from nothing, and they both tried to give their kids something, and it didn't turn out how they wanted it to turn out. Like they tried, but it seems like failure. But Ernestine had a moment where she was saying that it's only like you start to think that it's only failure if you actually give up.
Right.
Yeah.
And that resonated with me, like today,
Yeah.
like right now.
Ernestine
I'm
be
like,
making
okay.
them speeches, don't
Yeah.
she? Just drop her
She
voice.
dropped her
like,
jewels,
yeah.
boy.
and all the thing you can have to do. She hates my characters.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take the southern accent over that one.
Only thing you have to do is never give up on them.
That's actually kind of good.
Like
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
I'll be around all day. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so let's go into when Noah goes back to teach Bill a lesson.
Yes.
I was like, how Bill survived that bleeding, that beat down Rosalie give him. I didn't
Yeah,
know how
I
he
was
was
surprised
still
by that. I
I
alive.
was like,
didn't survive that either.
I was happy when he choked him. For some reason, I was like, that kind of strength and power that Noah exhibit. That was kind of hot.
I was like, hey,
I was like, hey,
I know,
Noah.
right?
He was like, you ain't. I'm not leaving here without killing you. Noah makes good on all his promises.
That
That's a
part.
man
That
that
part.
makes good, and
'Cause,
that's
Even when he was talking to James, he's like, I protect mine.
I
And he
protect
stepped
mine.
up.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that was
stepped
so
up
sexy.
really. Can I
I
be
was
yours?
like, can I get a Noah in my life, Lord?
I've never been like that drooly over Noah's character. He just never did it for me.
thank you.
But when he said what he said tonight, I was just like, okay, I see where your head is now, and I like it.
Yeah,
And
like I like it.
Like, and he's thinking these plans out more. Even when he was trying to pick who he was gonna try to
In the-
use
yeah,
to
in the
help
house.
them get out, he fully thought it through and was like, I don't think I can trust any
Yeah.
of these people, you know?
Yeah.
And he did it himself. He came up in there himself because we was all thinking someone at the table was
Right.
gonna help. Shout out to Journey's husband, who was one of the guys in there. That was
yeah.
so cute. I
That
love
was cute.
how they
But
did that.
what I also like about the fight with him and Bill is that he fought him. He didn't sneak up on him. It wasn't a sneak attack. Like, you're gonna know that I did this to you.
After
Right.
what he
And
did to
like
Rosalie,
yeah.
of course
but I
he
like,
was
going
going
but you know, he could have, snuck him.
And we get a
from
sneak
behind
peek
and did it, but
with Noah's character of how he's gonna check Rosalie next episode.
Oh.
and
How
that
he's gonna what?
How he's gonna check her.
about not telling her about
Oh,
the
yeah.
and
Like,
that,
you put my baby on the line.
yeah, that too. I was just like, woo, okay.
It's time.
Okay.
It's time for him to do that. to
Yeah,
shit it
sometimes
out.
you
Yeah.
gotta check her and tell her to sit down.
Well, hey, Rosalie got that last laugh when she torched that house, though.
Oh,
Did y'all see that?
man. I
No.
did not see that
She was
coming.
angry though.
She's like, there's nothing to come back
Miss
to.
Susanna.
I was like, whoa.
That
And at
character's
first,
a-
I'm like, okay, that little lamp, like, what's that gonna do, though, Rosalie? And then we see, like, she was plotting.
Yeah, plotting from
And
the
we
jump.
thought she was back in formation. Psych.
Huh.
Rosalie was like, no, I got a plan.
I thought Tiara was gonna stop the whole plan because he was so angry. I thought he was gonna shoot Noah.
I was proud of Noah, kind of. I
Noah
was
said,
sad.
"Bet."
I was sad that he shot the kid, but I was like, you're finally doing what you got to do.
Shoot a kid, I don't care.
Then
Shoot,
that's
if I-
the greater good
if
moment.
it came between me
Shoot the
going
kid
back
for the greater
into
good.
slavery
Right.
and this little
Shooting
boy
the
getting
kid.
shot,
You getting popped.
I don't like to
Shots
say nothing.
fired.
But, yeah. So then we see Liz go and pay little Miss Laney a visit and give her the business. Liz told her if she don't pay some money to this cause, first she said it sweetly, and then she said, okay, well, if you don't want to do it, I'm going to have to tell your business since you so high and mighty.
That blackmail was so good.
That was so good.
That was really good.
The look
So
on that
what
girl's
you
face.
Listen,
Tell
I'm
my
going to keep
husband?
coming back every month.
Every month.
Every month I
I'm
might
yes.
tell him
She was so subtle with
a
it.
thing or
It
two.
wasn't subtle, and I loved it. I'm loving Elizabeth's character. Ooh, you giving me life, Lizzie. Lizzie, I feel like we on
One accord.
Right,
We
right,
on
right.
one
Y'all-
accord.
y'all
Let the
best
church
friends.
say amen.
We haven't really had a chance to talk about Kato because he was in the beginning of this episode
Being a manipulator.
being a manipulator.
I told y'all I don't like him.
But the thing about Kato, every time
I think
he
he's up to
does
something.
these things,
He
better have a
got a
plan.
plan. He
we
got a
don't
plan.
Better
know
have a
whose
plan.
side he's on. Though.
Never
I
know.
thought
Better
that
have
he
a
was
plan.
leading them away from like Rosalie and Noah, but then he led them to Harriet and like everyone else, and I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, what are you doing
And the thing
here?
is, Noah and Rosalie are probably headed back there.
Yeah, and
So-
he told the song, the map. He told Patty the map,
yeah.
the song that starts out every episode of the first season. The song, which we just now, it was revealed that it is the map
Right.
to all the underground, to the underground. For him to tell her that, I'm like, then he can't be on the good side. At first,
Maybe he still has a plan because maybe he's gonna lure
Right.
her to where she wants to get to, and he maybe knows that
I
the
don't
rest of
know
them will be
now.
there,
We'll
and then he
just
can
have
turn on
to
her in that moment. I hope.
See next
That's
episode
what I
I
what's
have
gonna happen
no
exactly.
idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But Kato, I've been on Team Kato, and I need you to come
I
back to
just
the
joined
the
Team
good
Kato.
side.
Like, don't
Thank
make me
you.
leave. I
Don't-
just got
I'm
there.
losing people.
Look at that, the greater good side.
I'm
Oh,
losing
man.
people.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
y'all.
on that note, let's do our predictions.
Lord.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
What is that?
predictions.
Lord. It's going down in the DMs.
But I just kind of gave my prediction a little bit. Like, I'm hoping that Kato is leading Patty there to kind of then turn on her and save everyone else. So at least if you lead her there, you know, she's going to go, and then you can get rid of her, like, once and for all. Yeah. You know, I mean, of course, other people may be after Harriet, but at least get the main one who's just, like, ruthless about getting her.
Whew. Well. It's all going to go down. Like, I believe James is going to see his mom. Hopefully that'll wake that ass up about whatever he's been in. It's all gonna come together. Patty, Harriet, Noah. Like, there's only 2 episodes left. Yeah. So this is about to be like a huge, like, explosion. Something big is gonna go down. So that's just my prediction. Everyone's gonna meet up. Yeah. And it's gonna go down.
My prediction is that Ernestine is gonna change August to be on her team to kind of help her against Patty. So when we have this big showdown, like, Patty's gonna think that August is there for her, like, blah blah blah, and then August is just gonna, you know, set everything off like he usually does. My concern though is that they're heading south, and I think that everyone is going north.
No, she's heading north. Ernestine said
they're heading south now.
They're now going back and heading south.
They were heading north, and now that they've killed Smoke, they're heading south now. South to go get her kids. But everyone's leaving Macon, so now I'm just concerned about that. I don't want Ernestine to be caught in that fire.
Kind of miss them. But maybe they'll, like, on the paths.
On the way there?
Yeah. They did go north a little bit, so maybe on their way back, they will
meet in the middle.
Into each other.
Yeah. I'm hoping that happens, too. I'm hoping a little love connection happens with Miss Ernestine in August.
Gosh.
That'd be really nice.
That again.
That'd spice things up a little bit.
I can't.
It'd be nice to see.
I just can't.
God, Kato, please make this prediction come true. Please be on the good side. And be really trying to, like, because at the end of this was the 3rd episode where he makes that stance to say he's going back to make some change. Yeah. I'm really hoping that was really in his bones and he means what he say he's gonna do and he's just playing Patty. Yeah. I'm really thinking he's gonna be a force in this to try to, you know, make things right. So
hopefully last episode Debbie talked some sense into him too.
I think that just angered him. Because when someone who loves you say that they don't love you and that you're an ugly person, I think that just wounded him.
So that's probably why he's on the rail that he's on.
Yeah, I hope that just was a temporary derailing. Right. And he's going to get back on it. Do we have any fun facts for us?
That was it. Chris Meloni was the director of this episode.
I love seeing when the different actors direct different episodes. It's really nice to see, like, what they do. And you could see, like, some of the touches of it, like, because he's a really good actor and there was really subtle moments, so it was really good to see.
Law and Order Christopher Maloney?
Yes, that was it.
Law and Order Christopher Maloney.
Hey!
I like that, yes.
But you know, one thing I forgot to predict is that because he killed Smoke, you know, that was Patty's lover. So that's not
Patty don't care about nobody.
But that's why my prediction is going to come true.
No, like, Patty don't care about nobody.
I don't know.
She said that. She low-key does. She just didn't want everybody else to know.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be revealed once we find out Smoke's
And it don't matter
killed.
Now because Ernestine is a bad mother. Just shut your mouth.
Hey.
So she can take Patty.
All right, guys, that's it for it. You can find me at Justlina Green on all social media networks.
And you can follow me on all social platforms at @hey_it's_lay.
What's up, y'all? Hang out with me at All Things at Sally Hang Out.
And you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lanisha_33.
Until next time.
Bye,
see y'all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.